The Life of Riley by Riley Bates. Good morning, sweetie, the mother said as she gently shook the sandy haired 8-year-old boy's body. Happy Monday. The boy slowly lay up in his bunk bed, making sure to not hit his head off any of the wooden planks going across the bed above him. He threw his legs to the side of the bed and sat for a moment, staring at the colorful fish tank across the room, letting the light from the tank fill his eyes. He felt the carpet filling in the spaces between his toes, thinking about the full day which lay before him. Colin, the boy said, time to wake up. We gotta go to school. The boy's brother peeked over the railing of the bed, clearly surprised that his night of sleep had gone by so quickly, and said, all right, I'm coming. Don't get your undies in a bundle down there. At that moment in time, Riley's younger brother Christian came running into the room, with a giant smile on his face, clearly way too excited for a Monday, because he was still only in preschool. Colin, you need to get up, struggling to pronounce his older brother's name. My older brother jumped down from the top bunk and said, I'm up, so would everyone relax and let's get ready for school, obviously taking authority over the situation. The boy and his two brothers walked into the bathroom, which happened to have the theme of Under the Sea, grabbed their toothbrushes from out of the orange fish tank holder, and proceeded to brush their teeth as their mother showed them. They all wandered back to their rooms and put on their matching uniforms, which consisted of khaki pants and a blue collared shirt, which were required at their school, St. Francis Borgia. Last one down is a rotten egg, Riley's younger brother yelled as he galloped down the stairs. Riley finished getting dressed and raced after him, running as fast as he can, while Colin stood there taking his time to get ready, trying to show how much older and mature he was. All three boys got downstairs and sat at the kitchen counter in a row, which went from youngest to oldest. Their mother just finished cooking a plate of eggs for each of the boys, and gently slid the plate towards them. She wanted her boys to have a nice filling breakfast so that they would not be hungry for their first couple hours of school. Are my boys ready for the fun day at school? Beamed the boy's mother, who always seemed to be the happiest person in the morning, no matter how early it was. I am, shrieked the youngest of the three, while the older two stared over at him in bewilderment. Then, realizing that he was still too young to understand how school does not always consist of playing with blocks and having nap time. All three boys finished their eggs and drank their orange juice, ready for the day. All right, everyone, let's go out to the car. Time for school. I have to get to work by 9, the mother said as she cleared the dishes, washed them in the sink, and put them in the dishwasher. Riley got up first, grabbed his blue and black Batman backpack, which he had always wanted for so long, slung it over his shoulder, and ran out to the car, with his brothers following close behind. The sun was glaring off the white Chrysler minivan parked in the driveway, causing Riley to have to squint to see exactly where he was going. The cool 58 degrees Cedarburg, Wisconsin weather made Riley shiver a bit, and made him think to himself that it was a good thing his mom made him wear a coat. Colin, the oldest brother, rushed by Riley while saying, I call front seat. Riley, a little upset he did not call front seat, first moped towards the side door of the car, slid it open, sat down, and buckled up. His younger brother slid open the opposite door and hopped up into his car seat and waited for mother to come buckle him in. Look at my little boy all ready to go, the boy's mother said, as she ever so carefully buckled Christian's car seat in, making sure he was safe and sound before she even thought about getting into the car herself. That's how the boy's mother always was, the nicest, most caring person, putting her three boys first before she would do anything for herself, always making sure they were safe and happy. The boys always hated how she would worry so much, but what they did not know was her worrying was there because she cared so much about them, more than anything in the world. The mother got in, started the car, backed out of the driveway, and headed for school. Before the boys knew it, the car pulled up in front of St. Francis Borgia, a small Catholic school located in the downtown of Cedarburg. Have a good day at school, Colin and Riley. Stay out of trouble, the mother said, as Colin and Riley both gave her a kiss and hug. Grandma's getting Christian from preschool and will pick you up after school, since I have to work late. Riley and Colin both got out of the car and started walking towards the main entrance to the school. Look for me after school. I'll be waiting right out front, the older brother said, knowing he needed to take the initiative and care for his little brother. All right, I'll look for you after school, Riley said, as each boy parted ways, heading for their own classroom. Riley walked into his first grade classroom, put down his Batman backpack, and sat down, ready for another day of school. After announcements and prayer, his aging first grade teacher, Sister Teresa, shuffled over to her podium at the front of the room, the glare from her lights beating off her pink-rimmed glasses. We're going to start with spelling first today, so I want everyone to take out their spelling books. Riley pulled out his spelling book and began doing the specified activities. The morning of lunch went by rather quickly and uneventfully. That is, until all the kids wandered into the classroom after recess, their cheeks still all red and rosy from playing dodgeball. Standing at the front of the classroom was an 8th grader. He looked so much older, Riley felt intimidated by him, since he was not used to being around them. Now, class, if everyone could please sit down. We have a special guest here to do a couple magic tricks for everyone, said the gray-haired fragile teacher. Riley headed for his desk, which happened to be right in the front row, and sat down. As soon as everyone was seated, the scary 8th grader began talking, and said, I have been doing magic tricks for a while now, and I thought all of you would be amazed at what I can do. He pulled out a pencil, walked up to Riley in the front row, and said, Now, could you hold this and tell me that this is just a regular pencil, with nothing wrong with it at all? Riley, a little scared that this 8th grader was talking to him, slowly reached up and held the pencil, and made sure it was just like all the other pencils in his backpack. Riley quietly said, Yes, this is just a normal pencil, and quickly handed it back to the 8th grader. Well, he said, I'm going to turn this regular pencil into rubber right before your eyes. Everyone in the class looked around to see if the kid was joking around, and then looked back up towards the front of the room, clearly amazed. The boy held the pencil out and began shaking it up and down. Riley saw before his eyes the pencil begin to wiggle up and down as if it were made of rubber. All the children in the class could not believe their eyes, and when they tried doing it themselves, they could not succeed. After the magic trick show, the teacher got up to the back up to the front of the room and tried teaching us for the last hour of class, but found all the little first graders were way too excited from the magic tricks to even pay attention at all. So instead of teaching, she just gave us free time for the last half hour of school to either color or talk amongst ourselves. As the final bell rang, Sister Teresa lined up